Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story? As hidden identity. I am a prophet as well as a part-time traditional healer, but mostly I am a prophet. It is just that my ancestors, they wanted me to become a traditional healer. By that time, when I discovered that this was what my ancestors wanted me to do, we then did a ceremony for my ancestors so that they can allow me to pray. So I do pray as a prophet. I help people as well as working as a part-time traditional healer. And there is a story that I want to share with you, and I hope that your listeners, they are going to be able to assist me. This happened, it was last year in March of 2024, when I met this other young man, a South African whom I will call Sipo. He came to my shrine when I was staying in Garangua. Now I am staying with my own relative in Venda. Is the person that is assisting me right now, because there are times when I lose my mind, like go crazy. So at the place where we are staying, like it does not pay rent. The owners of that house, they are working there in Johannesburg. So they told him that all that he needs to do is to take care of the property as well, to maintain the yard. He works as a builder. Sometimes he goes around with me when he has some piece jobs, and I assist him to do those piece jobs. So I used to be someone that had money. I was not rich, but I was able to live a good lifestyle, working as a prophet then in Pretoria. This young man, when he came to me, I felt so sorry for him. He was a 27-year-old medical graduate. He had graduated at the university there in Pretoria. He told me that he was being burdened by unemployment, and he had so many misfortunes such that he could not even understand what was going on. When I looked at him, what made me to feel sorry for him, in him I saw me, because that is what happened to me when I was growing up. There were people that were bewitching me, that never wanted me to succeed in life. And when I kept on thinking about it, even though I did not want to assist him, because the problem with the South African Tokoloshes, they cannot be negotiated with. Some of these Tokoloshes, they are not born and bred in South Africa. So when you take a spirit, maybe you take a spirit of a person that died in Tanzania, for you to be able to chase away that spirit, you need to communicate with that person in the language, because a Tokoloshe, it is not just a creature, but it is a spirit of a dead person, man, woman, child, and you need to communicate with that spirit as if you are communicating with a normal human being. Because what they do when they are creating a Tokoloshe, they wake up the spirit of a dead person, usually those ones that are buried and are forgotten, or those that are stabbed to death. Those are the ones that are brought back as Tokoloshes. So what I discovered when I started working here in South Africa, yes, indeed, there were some South Africans that would come to me, and then they will tell me that when they were looking for a job, mainly in the government positions, they normally use those type of charms, because it is very hard to get a job in the government in South Africa. You need to have connections. So there are those that come out of university without connections. Then they can go to a Sangoma. They can be given something that will be so simple. Usually they can be told that this is the oil of what they call Sandawana. This is what is going to give you good luck. And indeed, when you will go for your interview, you will get that job. And then the Sangoma will tell you that, let me give you this oil, mix it with your body lotion. It is oil that we took from a python, just like each and everyone is afraid of a snake. When they will be working there, even their supervisors, even the head of departments that they will be working for, they can be scared of them, and that is when they can get their promotions. By the time that they are all old, then those things that they would have used, they will transform and become Tokoloshes, because you cannot just take Sandawana oil on its own and you will say that it will give you good luck. No, the Sandawana oil, it needs the spirit of a dead person. So unlike the traditional healers from our country, we know usually they go to Mozambique where they get the spirits of the dead, and normally they go in those parts of Mozambique where the traditional healers and people, they speak in Shona and we understand each other, so that when that Tokoloshi is now coming out, that Tokoloshi, you can be able to communicate with it. But the South African traditional healers, they can even go to parts of Mozambique where it is mainly Portuguese, and when that Tokoloshi now demands blood, it will be very hard for you to be able to chase it away, for it will be communicating in Portuguese. You won't be able to have a conversation with it, because when you hear someone saying, I am chasing away the spirit of a Tokoloshi that has been haunting and giving you sleepless nights and giving you bad luck, it's not like you will be fighting with it, chasing that spirit away. No, you need to have a covenant. You give it a good deal such that it will see that it is far much better to remove itself from the life of the person that it will be tormenting. You cannot kick out the spirit of the Tokoloshi, but rather you need to have a covenant. Just like anything in the spiritual realm, it is done through covenants. So usually those traditional healers that chase away those Tokoloshes, they will be lying to you, saying that this is the snake that I have seen in your house. No, rather they would take the spirit of the Tokoloshi and then they will start to work with that Tokoloshi. Usually those people, they have these strange walking sticks, and then their Tokoloshis that they go around collecting from people, they will start to assist them such that they will become powerful. There is no powerful traditional healer like a traditional healer who is a witch, because a witch is the one who knows how to bewitch and how to undo the witchcraft that will be affecting someone. That is why I had told myself that I do not want to assist those that would come to me and those that would be affected by the Tokoloshes that have been created in South Africa, because it is a mix of Tokoloshes. Some have Nigerian spirits. How can you communicate with that when you do not know how the culture in Nigeria works and how they create those Tokoloshes in their own culture? So I was mainly focusing on those families that will just come, and I see that maybe it is because of their ancestors. That is why they have bad luck. And if someone would come to me and then I would see that in the family there is one who took those lucky charm oils and he had good luck when he was still alive, and after he passed away there was no one else who could use the lucky charm anymore, then it became a Tokoloshi. I will tell that person to come back, and after the person would have left the place where I was staying, then I would tell the landlord that whenever the person will come back looking for me, she was supposed to tell them that I was not at home. Sometimes I would even lock myself in my back room because I did not want any problems. But when I was looking at that young man, even the way that he was speaking, his voice was trembling, and I saw that he was a deeply troubled young man. What made me to assist him, I saw that he could commit suicide. So he came to me, and as we were speaking, that was when my third eye was opened up, and it was revealed to me that his father, who is a taxi boss in KZN, name hidden, he was the one who was making his son not to find work. So the father always wanted a lot of money through his taxi business, and he went and he got some Tokoloshes, and those Tokoloshes, some of them, they gave birth to other Tokoloshes, and then he gave his son Sipo one of the Tokoloshi, which is a spiritual wife. So this spiritual wife was the one that was stopping him from getting a job, because those spiritual wives, they can even give you bad luck because they are very jealous. They do not want you to succeed in life, for they are afraid that if you succeed in life, maybe you might end up getting help, and then they would be chased out of your life. When he came to me, I did not want to help him. I told him that he was supposed to come back, but before I could tell my landlord, that was when I just felt that let me just assist this man. I don't know, maybe it was his own ancestors. I proceeded and I had this desire to assist him. I told him that the reason as to why he was unable to get a job, all of his job offers, they were vanishing. Interviews will always go wrong, and he was plagued by several diseases that he could not understand, and he was confused if he was a woman or a man. It was because of that Tokoloshi. And when he came back, I assisted him. It was one Monday morning when he came, and I assisted him and I gave him some holy prayers to go back home so that he can wash himself with those holy prayers. Later that evening, he came and then we went outside. I had fasted for 2 days in preparation, and I had prepared the shrine. I placed 7 black candles as well as made a circle of salt and other herbs. On that night, I was not only working as a prophet, but I was working as a prophet as well as a traditional healer. And I told him to stand. He was semi-naked in that circle that I had made using that red salt that chases away Tokoloshes. And then I took this other herb. It looks more like onion, but when you put it on your skin, it is very itchy. So that itchiness, if there is a spirit that follows you, that spirit will come out of your body so that I can deal with you and I can deal with that Tokoloshi when it does not have a body. Each and every spirit, even if you were to die today, Brother Nashi, if you do not rest in peace, you will come back looking for a body to possess. That is why us in our Shona culture, whenever your ancestors come to you, they will start by showing you some garments that they want you to buy, those traditional fabrics that we use in our traditional customs, just like any other African. Usually that is what your ancestor will do when he wants to help you in life. He will be like, I am naked and I am unable to assist you. What it means, it is not like the ancestor will be naked. No, but what it means is that when you buy that fabric from the fabric store, when you dedicate it to your ancestor, it means that you have given your ancestor a door to your body so that your ancestor can come and then it can rest on your body to possess you. For there is no spirit that wants to walk around without a body. It is difficult to explain but easy to understand from the spiritual realm. Each and every person, when you die, you do not have a body anymore. You need a body, a physical body, to continue with your existence, unless if another door opens up when you go into another spiritual realm where having a body does not matter. But if you are still caught up in this world, before you cross over, it is hard to live without a body. Even demons, they also want a body to possess. So that is what I wanted. When a Tokoloshi does not have a body, when I have forced it out of the body of the person that it will be tormenting, then we can sit down. It will be 50-50 now. For if it is still possessing the person that you want to assist, it can even refuse to have a conversation with you. I have helped so many people such that even if I try to hit them with my walking stick that I use when I am prophesying, that person will just remain quiet, as if there is something that will be holding their jaws such that they won't be able to open their mouth to speak with me. It is because that Tokoloshi, it will know that once it comes out of the body, then a covenant has to be made for me to allow it to enter that body or to enter into another human being. So when he entered into that circle of salt, that was when I saw a light. It was a little burning flame, and then it flew out of that circle and rested on my other walking stick, and I knew that it was done, but I was wrong, for I had miscalculated. That little flame, it flew away. I celebrated, for I thought that I had defeated that Tokoloshi without even having a conversation and fighting with that Tokoloshi. And then a few days later, that was when my wife called me and told me that our 3-year-old son Kuda had fallen ill back home. He developed a persistent cough and his skin was turning pale, as if there was no oxygen that was circulating properly in his body. Before I could even make my way to Zim, my son had passed away. When I got to the funeral, I had another dream, the same dream when I was at the border. Whilst we were on the South African side, there was a long queue, so I was amongst the first ones to go, and we got our passport stamped and we returned back into the bus. The queue was quite long. And then, whilst I was fast asleep, that was when I had a dream. At first, I saw a taxi. You see, these South African taxis, they have the South African flags on the side. So I saw a taxi that was in Zim as it was going around picking up passengers. And then I saw my son Kuda. He was also waiting in line with other people that were on the side of the road by the hiking spot. He was also waiting for transport. So I rushed and I was screaming at him. I was Kuda, Kuda, kombinde south iyo ko urkuite. It meant I was screaming at him and saying, my son, why do you want to get into that South African taxi for? It will take you with it to South Africa. Look for another local taxi. For this one, it is a cross-border taxi. He did not listen to me. It was as if there was something that was blocking his ears. He went into the taxi with other people until the taxi was full of people. When I tried to get in there, that was when I saw a man that was dressed in black. He blocked me and he said, it is not yet your time. And the taxi started driving and it disappeared into a dark cloud. When I woke up, I knew what the dream meant. Usually when you have a dream and you are trying to get into a bus or a taxi or a car that will be full of people, it will mean that your days here on earth are numbered. And if that bus or if the taxi drives away with you, it means that you are about to die. So I knew what it meant. My son, there was a high risk of him passing away. I got out of the bus and I went into the toilets. There are some toilets there by the border. I had picked up some stones, 3 of them, not huge stones, just tiny stones that I mixed with water, and I did some prayers whilst I was in the bathroom. I received a warning. I just had a voice that told me not to use the holy prayers that I had made, but I used them and chased away that demonic entity, returned back to the bus, and I fell fast asleep. When I was on the Zim side, that was when my son passed away. I arrived at the funeral. My heart was full of guilt, and I knew that it was I that had caused my son's death. I then returned back to South Africa. When I returned back to South Africa, me and Sipho, we were not yet done, and I wanted to continue assisting him. But those Tokoloshes, they kept on coming to me. It was not only one, but now it was an army of those Tokoloshes. I then went to this other prophet, and the Vele-speaking prophet was also staying in Harangoa. I went to his house and I told him that there was something that was happening in my life that I could not understand. Immediately when I went into his shack, he told me that he sensed a dark presence in my life. He revealed that he was unable to assist me. The only way that he could help me, if I could help myself by deleting that boy's phone number and stop calling or answering to him, let him deal with his father's Tokoloshes. He told me that Sipho's father, he is 19 Tokoloshes, and there is no way that I can defeat such an army of Tokoloshes. I returned back to my shack. As I was fast asleep, it was around 12 p.m. That was when I heard footsteps, loud footsteps. I woke up, but I was still fast asleep. I woke up in my dreams and I saw those tiny little creatures that ran into the yard. They climbed on top of the roof. They were making noise, like they were making so much noise, and one by one they started laughing. They were like hee hee as they were climbing down from the roof, and they came and they surrounded the bed, and then they started beating me up in my dreams. I woke up screaming. When I woke up, to my surprise, I found out that I was naked. The trousers as well as the t-shirt that I was wearing, they were outside. I took some clothes, and then when I went outside, I saw that even my mini brief, it was outside. They were piled together, all the clothes that I was wearing when I went to bed. And then that was when I started to lose my mind. Sometimes when I will try to have a conversation with my wife, she will say that you are not making any sense at all. I then spoke with this man that I am now staying with and told me that I was supposed to leave Garankoa and I came to Venda. I am staying with him. He is the one who is assisting me. My wife right now back home, she is unable to cope because of some of the hallucinations that she is having. Sometimes she says that she can see a cow that will be just walking around the village. Then this cow, it will change. Instead of having normal cow legs, it will have legs that are like that of a human being. Even the face can change. So she is also asking me if she is losing her mind. We are trying to find help. If there is someone that can assist me to chase away these spirits. As for that young man, as much as I feel sorry for him, but I am fighting for my own family. I am fighting for my own life. South African Tokoloshes, they are very dangerous, for they do not understand. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother who is saying that he is in Venda. He is trying to get some help there, and he hopes that he will get someone who can assist him. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.